Hello, I, Yogesh Kumar, lecturer in electronics engineering, welcome you in prerequisite of analog electronics. So, analog electronics in electronics third sem. So, in the previous class, we have explained the marks distribution of the analog electronics. Now, in today's video, I will discuss the prerequisite or basic knowledge required to study the analog electronics subject. So these are the following concepts will be covered in this video. First is what is conductor, what is the property of the conductor, then insulator, then the semiconductor, then the electric current, and then types of semiconductor. So we will start. What is the conductor? Conductor means an electric conductor conduct electricity. The ability to conduct electricity is called electrical conductivity. We know in any conductor, suppose this is the piece of the conductor, this is any metal, so this is the piece of the conductor. So we know in conductor there are more number of free electrons which is revolving around the orbit. So from this diagram we can observe that these are the free electrons which are moving around the orbits. So due to the free electrons, electric current can flow from terminal, suppose this is terminal A and this is the terminal B. So due to the flow of free electrons, current can flow from either A to B or B to A. Due to it, direction of the current depends upon the direction of the flow of electron. Direction of the current is opposite to the direction of flow of electron. So this is the definition of electric conductor. An electrical conductor conducts electricity. The ability to conduct electricity is called electrical conductivity. Means conductivity is the property of the conductor by which it supports to the flow of electrons or flow of current. Just reciprocal to the resistivity. Resistivity is the property of the matter by which it opposes the flow of current. Similarly, conductivity is the property of the material by which it provides the flow of current. In electrical conductor, the electrical charges move from atom to atom when the potential difference is applied across them. So if we apply the potential difference across the terminal A, if we apply the potential at terminal A is plus 5 volt and we apply the potential at terminal is minus 3 volt, then total potential difference is 8 volt, then current will be flow due to the flow of electron. Most of the metals are electrical conductor. Now insulator. Insulator are the just opposite to the conductor. So conductor are the materials that allow electricity, heat or sound. Insulator are opposite to the conductor. Insulator does not allow the flow of electricity, flow of current or flow of free electrons. So in insulator there are very less number of free electrons, and due to that it is very difficult to flow the current from terminal A to terminal B. So these are the examples of good conductor. First, silver, gold, copper, aluminum. We observe that the most of the wire is made of either copper or aluminum because silver is very costly. That's why we cannot use silver. So almost copper and aluminum are used in the every wire because it has also good conductivity. And these are the other examples of good conductor. Now this is the examples of insulator, rubber, glass. These are the examples of insulator. We use the plastic to isolate the conductor in wire because plastic is the good insulator. So that's why we use plastic. Now, semiconductor. Semiconductor are the materials which electrical properties lie between the conductor and the insulator. Electrical properties means in semiconductor, number of free electrons are less than conductor but greater than insulator. So this is the atomic configuration of the silicon. We know atomic number of the silicon is 14. So in first orbit 2 electrons are revolving, in second orbit 8 electrons are revolving, and in outermost orbit 4 electrons are revolving. So there are four valence electron in the silicon. So there are two good example of semiconductor. First is silicon and second is germanium. So semiconductor are the material which electrical properties lie between the conductor and the insulator. So now electric current. How we define the electric current? Electric current is defined as a rate of flow of negative charge of the conductor, or electric current is defined as the rate of flow of electron at a particular section of the conductor. Suppose this is the conductor. Suppose this is the conductor, and this is the particular section of the conductor. So electron, this is the plus sign means holes, and this is the electrons. So if we apply the potential at terminal A, and this is we apply the negative potential at the terminal B. So we know the same polarity will repel each other and opposite polarity attract each other. So this is the negative charge, so it attracts hole, and this is the positive charge, so it attracts electron, and this is the positive and hole is also positive, so it repel. So positive repel and positive negative attract each other. That's why holes is moving from terminal A to B, and electrons is moving just opposite from B to A. So formula of the current is rate of flow of charge, so del Q by del T. So in other words, continuous flow of electrons in electric circuit is called electric current. The conducting material consists of a large number of free electrons which moves from one atom to the other at random. So we know in conductor there are a lot of free electrons. So electrons, if we apply the potential at the terminal of the conductor, then electron moves, and it moves away from the positive polarity of the battery and towards the negative polarity of the battery. Now the units of the current. Since we know the unit of the charge is coulombs, and unit of the charge is coulomb, and unit of the time is second, so we can define the unit of the current is coulombs per second, or ampere. The SI unit of the current is ampere, and it is denoted by the capital A, and current is denoted by the capital I. Now this is the piece of the conductor. So if we apply the positive voltage at terminal A and negative voltage at terminal B, then we can see from this animation electron is attracting towards the or coming towards the positive terminal, and holes is coming towards the negative. So when the electric potential difference is applied across the metallic wire, the loosely attached free electron starts moving towards the positive terminal of the cell. We can observe this from the animation. This continuous flow of electrons constitutes the electric current. So rate of flow of electron is called current. The flow of current in the wire is form of the negative terminal of the cell to the positive terminal through the external circuit. Now conventional direction of the current. So this is the piece of the metallic wire. We apply positive voltage at terminal A and negative voltage at terminal B. So negative terminal repel the electron, or positive terminal attract the electron. So electron will move from terminal B to terminal A. So electron will be moved from terminal A to B, or in that, this is the direction of electron, and we know direction of the current is opposite to the direction of flow of electron. So direction of the current is from A to B, or from negative terminal of the battery to the positive terminal of the battery. So direction of the current is always to the opposite to the direction of electron, or in other words we can say direction of the current is in direction of the holes, because electron is negatively charged and hole is positively charged. So both always move in the opposite direction. So if the electron is moved from terminal B to A, then it seems that holes will be moved from terminal A to B. So direction of the current is terminal A to B. So just according to the electron theory, when the potential difference is applied across the conductor, some electron flows through the circuit which constitute the electric current. Now next topic is type of semiconductor. There are two types of the semiconductor, mainly divided intrinsic semiconductor and extrinsic semiconductor. Intrinsic semiconductor means pure semiconductor. If we will not add any impurity or doping, then it is called intrinsic semiconductor. If we add the impurity or by doping process, then that semiconductor is called extrinsic semiconductor. Again, extrinsic semiconductor is divided into two parts, n-type semiconductor and p-type semiconductor. If we add pentavalent impurity, example of the pentavalent impurity is phosphorus. So if we add pentavalent impurity in the intrinsic type semiconductor, then that type of semiconductor is called n-type semiconductor. And if we add trivalent impurity in the intrinsic type semiconductor, then such type of semiconductor is called p-type of semiconductor. Example of trivalent impurity is aluminum. Why it is pentavalent? Penta means 5 and valent means 5 valence electron. If any atom carrying 5 electrons in the valence band or outermost band, then that type of atom is called pentavalent impurities. And if any atom carries 3 electrons in the outermost shell, then that is called trivalent impurity. So this is the intrinsic type of semiconductor, and this is the atomic configuration of the germanium. From the atomic configuration, we can observe in this only the germanium is present. No other impurities added in this material. That's why it is called intrinsic type semiconductor. And from the atomic configuration, we can also observe there are 4 valence electrons in the outermost shell of the germanium. Second, this is the extrinsic type semiconductor. Why it is extrinsic type semiconductor? Because in the silicon we are adding impurities arsenic atom we are adding in the silicon, so it becomes extrinsic type semiconductor. Since we are adding pentavalent impurity, that's why it is n-type extrinsic semiconductor. So if the semiconductor is pure, then it will called intrinsic type semiconductor. If we add the impurity either trivalent or pentavalent, then it becomes similar p-type or n-type respectively. So we will continue the detail of the n-type and p-type and comparison between them in the next video.